One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. So let me be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart steel and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar. Insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Whistles report he pays his way. More legend in the making, day by day.
Wow, what a way to start it up on a Friday morning, man. Let's fucking go. All you legends in the building, man. Much love, honor, respect to everybody. I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough for being here. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you guys decided to be right here with me, man. So I'm very honored by that. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have quite a big morning, as we usually do. So Trump bill signing ceremony is part of the title here, but that's not happening until 3 p.m. Eastern. Just so everybody knows, at least you guys have the headline of what to look for at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's 2 p.m. my time. Obviously, we're already off the live by then. So at least you know it's there. Then we have Michigan coach, first appearance. Yes, we have a lot of updates regarding the man that was fired from the university or whatever team it was. I forget exactly what school it was over there in Michigan. But homeboy got let go after, he was accused of having inappropriate relations with a staff member. And then 2 hours later, after he gets fired, he gets arrested. So that's a big story that's happening right now, as well as Abrego Garcia is also released, Kilmar Abrego Garcia released and more. So we got a lot to discuss, but the way that we're actually going to chronologically line this up for the morning is yesterday there was a White House briefing by Caroline Leavitt, right? And she talks on the economy, Venezuela actions, etc. And she actually gets a lot of different questions that are actually very much needed to be answered right here and then, right? There's a lot of shit going on in the news, a lot of things. And so I like when they're actually open to the discussion. Even Caroline Leavitt says, well, there's a lot of shit going on in the news, man, so go ahead and get your questions ready, kind of thing. And then regards to Kilmar Abrego Garcia, released from ICE custody yesterday. Very interesting development there. And I really don't actually know what the deal is on that, like if he's been released, but now he's been... I really don't know what released actually means, so we'll find that out together. Because they said that he wasn't a gang member, but he actually was, but he wasn't, and whatever the case is. There's a whole bunch of shit that I'm not going to talk about because I don't know. We're going to find out together. Again, another thing interesting development that happened yesterday is President Trump signs executive orders on AI. Very, very interesting. And then Obamacare subsidies set to expire January 1st.
Bruh.
Definitely. Judge rules Kilmar Abrego Garcia cannot be deported or detained after ICE check-in. So that's the answer right there. That's the answer. Judge rules Kilmar Abrego Garcia cannot be deported or detained after ICE check-in. And then regards to the Michigan coach up there, fired Michigan head coach, 911 call released, revealing assault and stalking claims. Man, what a freaking ordeal. Well, that is our lineup for this morning as of right this second. Anything could change as we go. But But, well, it can be added to the equation, right? Because things are breaking all the time, and I have my sources ready to go. Real quick, let's go and do our call to actions, and we can get right into this. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Helps out the show immensely. Double tap the screen if you're on the vertical side, and also hit that subscribe button if you're new. But let's go ahead and get the money part over with. Please consider becoming a member, starting only at $2.99 a month. Making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with you guys, but check it out. This is what allows us to keep these lights on and be on these airwaves. So I very much appreciate you guys becoming members and staying members. Little side note, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, the campaign trail, all of it. Make sure you guys go over there and check it out, where I post everything in between, right? So make sure you guys go check that out. It's a great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. We also have a Discord server for all you legends. One of the mods will drop the server for you guys, the invite link. If not, you guys can go into the video description down below and get any of the links that are necessary for getting in the Discord and shit like that. You guys got to get involved, man. And last but not least, all super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, and membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live and shouted out onto the show. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, we have these platforms right here that you guys can donate to. And of course, I will read out anything that comes our way. I've got the email up, so if anything does come through, I can read it just like a super chat, man. So I'm very honored by that. All right, good morning to you all you legends in the chat, man. We got Steve Posey as well as Mountain Woman in the building. We got Prez as well. Good morning to you guys. Rabbit of Chaos as well as Brother Frank. Good morning. We got Crystal in the building as well. Appreciate you. Jimmy Mack, Motobomb. And real quick, I did want to give a special thank you to Sick Bastard and Carney's Ride. They were doing a live this morning. I was actually on the show with them. I was rolling up a couple of these nice little left-handed tobacco joints, but I had to get dipping out early, and then he raided the channel. So I very much appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for that. And then Papa D coming in with the fucking banger of a dono. $20 in the beginning, man. Saying papers from Mike Balls. Yes. If you know, you know. Absolutely. I was fucking up making one of these joints, and sometimes it just stumps you. I don't know. Like, all of a sudden, like, you can do it no problem, and then there's one that just will give you a problem. I had to, like, throw away 3 different fucking papers because I kept ruining it. But I very much appreciate you, Papa D. Thank you for that. We got Charles Darwin down there from Down Under. Always appreciate you, my man, over there in Australia, man. And yes, Easy Frank, Brother Frank. Yeah, he is the man that I'm the campaign manager for. So anyways, we definitely are having a good time on the campaign trail. We got Mark as well. Good morning to you. Great to see you. We got Roger in the building. Shout out to my man. I know exactly all the legends are in here right now. Very much appreciate it. Let's see. I'm scrolling down. We got KP in the building. And Virgil, I see you in here, bro. Let's see. Scrolling down as fast as I possibly can. Steve Easy in the building. Shout out to my man, Brother Dean, as well, over there in Israel, saying, what's up? Fam, been a while. Apologize for my absence, but y'all with me in my mind. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Great to see you, man. We got Brother SST as well. Good to see you, my man. All right, we're going to get right into this craziness. We're going to start off with Caroline Leavitt. In the morning, or not in the morning, yesterday, after I finished the show in the morning, there was a press, basically a White House briefing. And this happened, and it was actually a very good press briefing. I watched the entire thing, but we don't need to do that because that would take up 40 fucking minutes. But anyways, we'll get the general consensus, maybe a question or two, and then we're moving right on. We got to get over to Kilmar Abrego Garcia. So anyways, let's go ahead and get this.
All right, so we did want to pivot to this as the White House press briefing is now underway.
Great time to reflect on how much progress our country has made under President
What's up, Prospect Mike, by the way? Great to see you.
Trump's bold leadership. Given the complete mess that President Trump inherited from Joe Biden and radical left Democrats in Congress, what this administration has accomplished since January 20th has been nothing short of remarkable. While most politicians promise big on the campaign trail and break those promises once they get into office,
shit, Pablo.
President Trump promised big and has delivered even bigger. On the economic front, after inheriting the worst inflation crisis in over 4 decades, President Trump's pro-growth policies are making tremendous progress to make America affordable again.
Now, Prez, I know you're doing the nice little heart eyes because Caroline Levitt is pretty easy on the eyes. You know what I mean? She actually just turned 28 not that long ago. She's younger than me.
Under the painful Biden years, inflation reached a record high 9%
See more.
and devoured Americans' purchasing power. In President Trump's term thus far, inflation has dropped to an average of just 2.7%, marking critical progress. The Trump administration is working hard every single day to bring down the cost of living through bigger paychecks and lower prices. Real wage.
But lower prices in what regard? Maybe you can get away with that with oil prices for sure, but everything pretty much else is not going down. The speed of how fast they're going up is slowing down, correct, but not much of anything is actually going down, just so you know.
Wages are finally on the rise again and on pace to increase to roughly $1,200 for the average American worker this year. To put that
That's right, Charles. She is 28.
into perspective, real wages declined by almost $3,000 under the Biden administration. That means Americans right now are on track already to make up 1/3 of the $3,000 in lost wages under Joe Biden. There's much work to do, but this has already been significant progress.
Shit, real quick, and Steve Easy said it best right here. Says, can we all just call bullshit? The only thing that went down was my money. Absolutely, your purchasing power of the U.S. dollar has gone down dramatically, and I've shown this on the channel quite a few times. Steve Easy, I know that you already know about this, but I'm going to show it anyways. This is basically from January of 2025 to September of 2025. And this is not obviously including October, November, but this was the closing of each month, the closing of gold prices and the U.S. dollar, USD purchasing power. So the green line, or rather the blue line, I'm sorry, is your money, your normal currency, your fiat currency. It is losing power every fucking minute. And then meanwhile, gold is just skyrocketing and yeah, so that's kind of an evident thing. There's one thing that has gone up, and that would be gold and silver for sure, and that has nothing to do with anything. But actually, it shows how bad the dollar actually is doing when gold and silver does so well.
President Trump has also delivered resoundingly on his promise to end Joe Biden's insane war.
What's up, Joseph? And yes, I should add a silver chart now because silver is such a thing now. You know, everyone's talking about it. I mean, fucking silver went to $64 yesterday at closing. As soon as the market closed, it closed at like $64. Like, holy shit. But by the way, Joseph up there in Canada, our favorite snow Mexican, saying, stop the chirp, bro. Absolutely, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Like it. Stop the chirp.
On American energy and make sure our country has reliable and affordable energy
Sterling
produced
wheel.
right here at home. As a result, the nationwide average for regular gas just fell to its lowest level in nearly 5 years.
Which I agree. I actually conceded in the very beginning. I said the one thing that would have gone down was oil prices, which is your gas, diesel, shit like that, of course. But not much of anything really else.
According to data from Gas Buddy released on Monday, average gas prices have now dipped below $3 per gallon in 37 states. Below
Brother Sterling Wheel coming in hot, by the way, with the gifted 5 memberships, yo.
Down the Mongo.
My man making statements out here. Not only helping me, but you're helping someone in the Breakfast Club, so I very much appreciate it. 5 others, actually. And Joseph saying, silver about to be 90 an ounce here. Damn, bro. And you know what's crazy about that is we're not that far, because, I mean, obviously, our dollar is different to your dollar. So I'm going to refer to my dollar, right? So we're at $64 an ounce for silver, at least from last night. It could have changed a little bit this morning, but 64 was closing last night. Nonetheless, I see that this is just a prediction of mine. We're about 2 years into the bull run, but the bull run still has another 8 years to go. So people are like, should I get in? Should I wait to? No. Now's the time. I'm just going to let you guys know that.
Down the Mongo.
You guys can be mad at me later or whatever the case is, or you can thank me later, because you actually followed through with what I'm telling you right here. But definitely get yourself involved in gold and silver in some sort of facet. I'm not telling you, sell all your shit and bank all of it into silver or gold or whatever the case is. No, but it would behoove you to go ahead and start slowly adding to a stack or creating a stack, right? That can be just 1 or 2 pieces of silver per month or whatever the case is. So anyways, back to this.
$2.75 per gallon in 22 states and below $2.50 per gallon in 5 states. Just a few years ago, we saw record high price gas of nearly $5 per gallon. American families faced constant pain at the pump, and those costs caused the price of everything else to go up as well. In fact, the average cost for a gallon of regular gas in
I appreciate that, Taylor.
the country was the most expensive price during a presidential term in U.S. history.
Yes, we know that. We lived through that, Caroline. And you don't really have to reiterate this point, but it is really one of the only points that you can point out about prices going down. And really, theoretically, that doesn't have so much to do with the president. Now, yes, can policies lead to oil prices going up and shit? Absolutely. 1,000%. But there is, people always think that the fucking president is like kind of the one setting the scale for what the prices are for oil. And that really doesn't happen like that. There is a little bit of influence, but not as much as people like to make you think.
Under Biden's disastrous leadership, even with them recklessly draining our strategic reserves to try and artificially decrease prices. But thanks to President Trump, those days are long behind us. In the months ahead, Americans can expect prices to fall even further. We know that when gas gets cheaper, everything else gets cheaper too. And that's what this president is focusing on. Americans can also expect another boost to their bank.
Yo, brother KP is on top of it right now. He's let me know, like, hey, homie, you've been on the live right now for 17 minutes. You haven't sparked up. What's the fucking deal, dude? I respect it. I respect it. Here we go. Shit.
Oh my God!
Feels ultra good to be a G. All right, we're back to this. Let's go.
Accounts in the months ahead as 2026 tax refund season is upon us after the holidays, and it's projected to be the largest ever thanks to President Trump's passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill. According to recent analysis from Piper Sandler, when Americans file their taxes early
What's up, Panelverse? He got a gift and membership. W, like that.
next year, their refunds could be about 1/3 larger than usual, or roughly an extra $1,000 per filer. That is money straight into the pockets of the American people. It's only because of President Trump and Republicans' leadership that Americans will now pay no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. President Trump and Republicans believe hardworking Americans deserve to keep more of their hard-earned money, but Democrats, on the other hand, every single one of them, voted against these massive tax cuts. So remember that the next time Democrats try to talk about affordability. Democrats don't have a single clue about how
Now, one thing I will say is affordability, the word, has been weaponized astronomically in politics, okay? And truth be told, the ones that really play the affordability verbiage or nomenclature or whatever the case is the left. Now, of course, there is plenty of right things in the past where they've used the word affordability, and honestly, it's never affordable for anybody. That's really the case. You know what I mean? I've found that to be a sneaky, fun word that they love to use in politics because it's a great way to go ahead and get at the heartstrings of people. Catering to emotions or feelings, right? So that's what they think. But then if you look at it objectively, it's like, well, none of this is actually affordable.
Make America more affordable. They just spent the last 4 years creating the very affordability crisis that President Trump is fixing right now. And if given the chance of power ever again, the Democrats will implement those same policies and jack inflation right back up to where it was. Finally, at the border,
I got you, Pancho.
Stop the cap.
Trump has restored America's sovereignty and made our country safe again. This is the single greatest and fastest national security victory in modern American history, and it's not even close. The latest
a lot better than your YouTube fucking growth. So
preliminary numbers
just saying
released
that,
from
nice
the month
little
of
Richard.
November show we have the most secure border in our nation's history. This is a remarkable achievement. November encounters came in even lower than the previous historic low in October, if you can believe it. There were only 30,367 total encounters nationwide. That's lower than the previous record set in October. And for the 7th consecutive month, U.S. Border Patrol released 0 illegal aliens into the United States. Let me repeat, 7 months of 0 illegal aliens being released into our country. This is a historic achievement, and it's one that every law-abiding American citizen should be grateful for. At this point, in 10 months under President Trump's unmatched leadership, we've seen less apprehensions overall than we saw in just 1 month under Joe Biden. Again, let me repeat, in 10 months under President Trump, we've seen less apprehensions at the southern border than we saw in 1 month under the previous president. Again, remarkable.
Which are pretty that is remarkable. And the one thing that Trump did do right, and to an extent, and even then even in my worldview, he's fucking up on immigration and the border and basically kicking people out. You guys are going to laugh at me, but I don't think he's doing enough in the aspect of immigration. I think we need to fucking wind up 10 more times than what we've been doing. We need to round these motherfuckers and get them the fuck out of our country. But the crossings have gone down dramatically. So that is true.
Remarkable results. All in all, the economy is back on track
good,
and ready to
KP.
boom over the next 3 years. Biden's inflation crisis is over. Prices are coming down. Wages are rising. The border is fully secure, and America's best days are to come. President Trump has kept his word and delivered for the American people over the past year, and he will not stop fighting, as you heard from him directly this week, until our country and every state in this country is better than ever before. So with that, I will take your questions today. I know there's a lot of news. We'll start with our new media seat. Mr. Bowling, it's great to see you here.
James.
He's of Real America's Voice. He's also the host of Edge, his interview and commentary podcast. Please, Eric, why don't you kick us off?
Caroline, thank you very much for this and inviting me to the new media seat. As you point out, affordability crisis, it strikes me energy prices have been coming down aggressively since President Trump's second term, approaching $55 a barrel for oil.
Real quick, we got chatting with Stacks, my man. Always appreciate Stacks coming in and dropping it like it's hot. Great to see you in the chat, man.
Gasoline, as you point out,
Happy Friday.
$103 a barrel nationally, first time in 5 years. By the way, that $55 a barrel oil is about half of the peak under the last 4 years of the last administration, half the price. Wholesale prices come down, yet affordability crisis. A lot of the folks in this room, a lot of legacy media, some of the people in the front row, seem to want to call this an affordability crisis right now, forgetting the fact that over the last 4 years prior, we hit 9% inflation. Wages, as you point out, have more stagnant at best, sometimes had dipped. That's a real affordability crisis.
What's up, Johnny Reno? Good morning to you, kind sir. Great to see you.
There, but they weren't really calling it that then. You point out how President Trump is changing the affordability in America, but how will he ensure that the legacy media doesn't flip the script and change it so that they're using affordability as...
So this is a brand new fucking guy that Caroline Levitt brought into the press, and she announced that, saying that leading up to this, but...
Their word, their idea versus what the American people who know much better.
Yeah.
So that was a good question that he asked, but the way that he asked it was so jumblized and he was nervous, obviously, that he over talked and asked the question. He should have consolidated that question a lot better.
Well, it's a great question, Eric, and it's a point of frustration for the president and for myself. I will say that's part of the reason I just kicked off this briefing today, setting the record straight with facts about the economic mess that the president inherited from his predecessor, Joe Biden. And he's focused on digging our country and our economy out of that hole every day. Things are getting better, and they will continue to. And President Trump understands better than any politician in this city the pain that the American consumer has been feeling for years now because of the last administration's policies. You heard him in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania this past week campaigning and talking to these voters saying, I was elected to fix this problem and I am fixing it. Don't forget who created it, and that's the Democrats.
Real quick, we got Sterling Will with the 420 generously saying, choose your propaganda wisely. Yes, sir. Very true. That's why I have the rhetoric that I do, man. That I just don't allow these fucking... None of them. Even though I'm theoretically on the right? Obviously, everyone knows that. But I'm the most hypercritical of all these fuckers because all I give a shit about is the facts. It just so happens I lay on the conservative side, of course. But all I give a shit about is the fucking facts. So, anyways, appreciate you, Sterling.
And I think when you hear the president talk about affordability, he's saying the Democrats are the greatest con artists in history because they are now trying to claim ownership of an issue that they created. And every data point and every economic metric does, in fact, show that the economy is improving. And so I do wish more people would report on those facts. I do wish that more people would remind the American public how we got here and why. It does not mean this president is discarding the feelings of the American people. He gets it better than anyone, which is why his entire administration has been focused on the issue of the economy and energy prices since day one.
Johnny Reno coming in with the gifted membership as well. Thank you for making it rain, man. Dropping in like it's hot. Not only helping me, but helping someone in the Breakfast Club as well, man.
Sure.
It's reported that around 10,000 commercial driver's license operators have been pulled by your transportation secretary department. Will the president apply that same metric? For the reason was the operators weren't speaking or reading English to a level that was safely, people thought they would safely be able to operate trucks.
Everyone agrees that fucking, at least in the United States, you got to be able to speak English. You know what I mean? It's crazy that anybody would argue that these people, that whether they're immigrants or whatever the case is, let's say they're even legal here, but if you can't speak the language, what the fuck are you doing on our roads as a CDL Class A driver? You know, driving a car is totally fucking different, obviously. Even though I don't think you have the right to be able to drive on our fucking highways and our roads as an illegal immigrant. That's the Department of Transportation. This is under the United States, man. If I'm held to a standard where I got to get a driver's license, I do everything right. I abide by the laws. You should too, absolutely. But sanctuary cities have obviously changed that aspect of driver's licenses for a long time now. This is nothing new. Like in LA, most of the illegals there actually have a driver's license. You know. So, anyways, back to this.
It's estimated in California around 40% of Uber drivers, Uber and Lyft drivers, don't speak English proficiently, and the number's 45% in Minnesota. Will this same rule or metric apply to the gig economy like Uber and Lyft?
So I don't have any announcements on further regulations, if you will, from the Department of Transportation with respect to this issue. However, I will just reiterate the Trump administration's position is that truck drivers, particularly those driving big rigs on our nation's road and highways, who have a great responsibility to keep the American public and their fellow citizens safe, should be speaking English and should have
What's up, Dean, my man? Good morning.
An ability to read English proficiently.
English?
I think that's
You got to know English too, cuh. No, yeah, that's pretty funny. But absolutely, everyone agrees with that. I don't know why that guy really kind of asked that question, because it's already been something that we've been talking about. It's like not everyone knows the Trump administration's stance on that as well. So anyways, we're going to move on. Kilmar Abrego Garcia released from ICE custody yesterday. So this is very, very interesting. Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been released from an immigration detention center in Pennsylvania following an order from a federal judge issued Thursday, according to his attorney's office. Very interesting shit, because there's also a different update on this as well later on. Let me see where it is. Judge rules, this is 2 hours ago. Judge rules Kilmar Abrego Garcia cannot be deported or detained after ICE check-in. So, anyways, let's go ahead and bring this up, and we'll talk about it. And here we go. All right, real quick, before we do, though, man, we got to get the money part over, you know?
All right, just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Shit, perfect.
Denied.
Okay, here we go.
We are hearing from the Associated Press and from Fox News that Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been released after a federal judge's ruling. U.S. District Judge Paula Zenas in Maryland ordered Immigration and Customs enforcement to let Abrego Garcia go immediately, writing that federal authorities had detained him again after his return to the United States without any legal basis. We have been tracking Abrego Garcia's case closely. Abrego Garcia's attorney's office confirmed that he was in fact released just before 5 p.m. local time. That was the deadline the judge gave the government for an update on Abrego Garcia's release. His attorney earlier told the Associated Press that Abrego Garcia plans to return to Maryland, where he has an American wife and child, and where
he plans to go back to Maryland.
Where he has lived for years after originally immigrating to the United States illegally as a teenager. Abrego Garcia had been held at Mashanan Valley Processing Center, which is about 115 miles northeast of Pittsburgh. We have been pretty much tracking this Abrego Garcia story closely. The White House, of course, has been tracking Abrego Garcia's story closely as well. In fact, Caroline Leavitt was asked about him at today's White House press briefing.
A federal judge today ordered the immediate release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Right, and this is the part that we didn't get to watch this part because it was going on too fucking long. We needed to move on. But one of the questions here was about the judge letting go of Kilmar. So let's go ahead and hear.
A federal judge today ordered the immediate release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from ICE detention. Does White House have a response to that? And does the administration plan to appeal that decision?
Absolutely. The White House, the administration opposed this activism from a judge who is really acting as a judicial activist, which we've unfortunately...
Damn, she said that shit.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
These political activists,
unfortunately seen in many cases across the country.
Very true.
Abrego Garcia is present in our country illegally. He is a proven human trafficker. He is a proven gang member. The administration has evidence of that. And as you saw from the Department of Homeland Security, they issued a statement saying they'll continue to fight this legal battle in court.
Okay, so Caroline Leavitt addressing that earlier. Of course, we'll wait for any other White House reaction, perhaps any sort of appeals that may take place. The Department of Homeland Security sharply criticizing the judge's decision and vowing to appeal this. They called the ruling naked judicial activism by a judge appointed during the Obama administration. It was quoted from Tricia McLaughlin. She's the department's assistant secretary. She was quoted as saying, "This order lacks any valid legal basis, and we will continue to fight this tooth and nail in the courts." We'll continue to keep you posted on Kilmar Abrego Garcia's. We'll also let you know.
And we do also have that update, by the way, that just came out 2 hours ago. But there is some images here. Let's go and see what this is real quick. Looks like Kilmar going through the I don't know, like leaving court or something. I don't know what's happening here.
Leaving the facility.
Leaving the facility, the ICE facility.
Cameras, at least from what we saw, didn't happen to catch him as he was released. So what you're looking at is file footage as Abrego made his way through media scrum after media scrum as the story has developed. Again, the breaking news of the hour, Kilmar Abrego Garcia being freed from immigration detention on a judge's order earlier on Thursday. This comes while he continues to fight to stay in the U.S., and it hands a major victory to the immigrant whose wrongful deportation to a notorious prison in El Salvador. It really did make him a flashpoint of the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. We'll let you know if we hear any more developments as the night continues. A live look at the White House.
Okay, so don't care about that. Now we're going to move on. Now, another thing that happened right after the show, or not right after the show, yesterday afternoon, evening, whatever, there was, I think probably around 3, this is usually when he does that kind of stuff, President Trump signs executive orders on AI, and I actually don't know what this executive order is, actually. I saw the headline, but I didn't watch it yesterday. So we're going to find out together what is happening here regarding AI.
President Trump, we thought this was going to be a closed press event, but President Trump participating in what they're calling a signing ceremony in the Oval Office right now. This is happening right now. Let's pull the audio up. This is live.
Real easy business. I mean, this is simple. We're taking in trillions of dollars. We're taking in tremendous amounts of countries, jobs, everything's coming in. Now, just to get off AI for a second, auto plants are being built at levels
Can you put the camera on Trump, please? I don't give a fuck about none of these guys, including Ted Cruz.
Just about never seen before. We had our auto industry.
Oh my God.
56.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's a different one, but you know what I mean.
6% of our auto industry left our country over the years. It was at one point 100%, and then it got shriveled down, and really we lost a lot. And now because of tariffs, which have been so incredible, we've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're bringing back our factories. We're bringing back everything. It's we've never been in a position like this. Our stock market today was, well, I got you.
Why are you gay?
A few hours ago, but a few hours ago it was way up, and we hit a new high. For the 52nd time in 10 months, we have an all-time high stock market. And it's all reasons. A big reason was the election November 5th, and another big reason, and maybe the biggest reason, but maybe not, because without the election, this wouldn't have been done because people don't know how to do it. The second reason is the tariffs. We're charging countries that were really hurting us badly, were really decimating us. Hence, we have $38 trillion in debt, which will start paying off pretty soon with the tariff money coming in. But countries that were really decimating us use tariffs against us. Now we're using tariffs. All we want is fair. All we want is national security. It's given us great national security. I settled 8 wars, and numerous of them was because of trade and because of tariffs. So
What's up,
we're very
Tiffany?
happy with
Good
that.
morning.
But this is about something a little bit different. We want to have one central source of approval, and we have, I think, great Republican support. I think we probably have Democrat support too, because it's common sense. I mean, you can't go to, every time you make a change, and it could be a very reasonable change, you still won't get it approved if you have to go to 50 states. So this.
Yes, real quick. We got 278 of you guys in here. Real quick, make sure you guys double tap that screen. Hit that like button over there on the horizontal side. Double tap the screen on the vertical. Very much appreciate you guys. You don't have to like all the craziness in the world, but you guys can like it for me and what we do here. So appreciate it.
Centralizes it. And it's something which the people behind me, the very distinguished people, all, but Tim Cook just left of Apple and spoke to all of the big companies, great companies.
The man that gifted out that membership, well, there was 2 people, but Sterling came in with a gifted 5, and then Johnny Reno also gifted out 1. So either one of those 2 gave it to you.
And they won't be able to do this. This will not be successful unless they have one source of approval, or disapproval, frankly. You could have disapproval too, but it's got to be one source. They can't go to 50 different sources. So I just want to thank everybody for being here. And Will, what would you like to add to that?
Sure. Mr. President, as you said, in keeping with your commitment to grow the American economy, create potentially millions of new American jobs, and maintain America's technological...
Pablo, just come over to the horizontal side where the cool kids reside. You know what I mean?
...and military superiority in the years ahead. This is an executive order that orders aspects of your administration to take decisive action to ensure that AI can operate within a single...
Yes, so the way that it's sped up, it's at 1.25, just so you know. Yeah, I mean, I consolidate everything into 1 hour. I don't sit here for 3-4 hours showing news. I do, 10 stories in the morning, and boom, we're in and out in an hour, you know? We got Sterling Will gifting out another fucking 5. That's humongous, bro. Making statements out here. Thank you for making it rain, not only for me, but 5 others in the Breakfast Club, man. So I very much appreciate that.
National framework in this country, as opposed to being subject to state-level regulation that could potentially cripple the industry. David Sachs, your AI and crypto czar, has been one of the key players and key authors behind the CEO. He can give you more of the granular detail, but the big picture is that we're taking steps to ensure that AI operates under a single national standard so that we can reap the benefits that will come from it in terms of economic growth, job development, national security, and technological edge.
And it's really the biggest industry that anybody's seen. I mean, it's taking off. And again, I believe there'll only be one country that really benefits, and it should be the United States. And it will be if we do this, if we're unified. We have to be unified. China is unified because they have one vote. That's President Xi. He's just doing it, and that's the end of that. You know, we have a different system. But
welcome on over, Tommy.
We have a system that's good, but we only have a system that's good if it's smart. David Sachs, could you say a few words, please?
Yes, sir. So, as you pointed out, we have over 1,000 bills going through state legislatures right now to regulate AI. Over 100 of them have already passed. 25% of them are in California, New York, and Illinois. You've got 50 states running in 50 different directions. It just doesn't make sense. We're creating a confusing patchwork of regulation. And what we need is a single federal standard. And that's what the CEO says, sir, is it basically states that the policy of your administration is to create that federal framework. We're going to work with Congress, like the chairman here of the Commerce Committee, Senator Cruz, and other members of Congress to define that framework. In the meantime, this EO gives your administration tools to push back on the most onerous and excessive state regulations. We're not going to push back on all of them. For example, kid safety, we're going to protect. We're not pushing back on that, but we're going to push back on the most onerous examples of state regulations, sir.
Okay, so that really didn't explain what I need to hear about the executive order on AI, dude. What the fuck is it?
I spoke with other Republican senators, and we have great approval. I think I spoke to anybody that even had any question and seemed to have gotten approval. Ted Cruz has been a very strong advocate of this is common sense. I mean, I think it's nothing more than common sense. Please, Ted.
Listen, this is the single most important economic question in the country and in the world. Who wins the race for AI? You look back to the 1990s, there was a similar inflection point with the beginning of the internet, the dawn of the internet. And Bill Clinton was president at the time. He signed an executive order, just like you're doing, that put into law a light touch regulatory approach to the internet. And the result was incredible economic growth and jobs in the United States. At the same time, the European Union took a very heavy-handed regulatory approach. Here's an amazing statistic, Mr. President. In 1993, the U.S. economies and Europe's economy were virtually identical in size. Today, America's economy is more than 50% larger than Europe's, and the two drivers of that are tech and the shale revolution. It transformed this country, and AI is the same thing. It's a race, and if China wins the race, whoever wins, the values of that country will affect all of AI. We don't want China's values of surveillance and centralized control by the communist government governing AI. We want American values of free speech, of individual liberty, of respecting the individual. So this executive order, I believe, is tremendously important. Thank you for your leadership.
Well, thank you very much. And Scott, please.
Yes, sir. This is pass-fail. As you said, this is the biggest technological innovation in our country's history. We've seen the canals, we've seen the railroads, we've seen the utilities, we've seen the build-out of the internet and the fiber, and now it's AI, and it is pass-fail versus China. We have the lead, we've got to maintain it, and it is also going to be the single biggest source of economic growth. But everything else we do, with our defense, there's no use in having a golden dome if China's AI can get around it. There's no use in spending all this money on defense. And the U.S. will remain the leader in this under President Trump's leadership. He has accelerated the growth. We're actually going
So my NVIDIA stock probably is fucking going through the roof.
to move ahead further. We are
Because of this. I'm just going to guess.
Building everywhere, construction jobs, there are going to be jobs at the AI data centers. And most importantly, President Trump had the incredible idea to allow the companies to create their own power. And we are going to see soon that communities near AI facilities will have the same or lower electric costs than other communities, which is a great innovation. So this is an important document today.
Do you have any questions?
On this subject, President Trump, are you more worried about the U.S. winning the race for AI dominance with China or about AI's potential threat to humanity?
Both. We're looking at that very strongly. We have a lot of threats in the opposite way if we don't do it. You know, you look at the medical and medical research. Already the things that have come out of AI in terms of medical and cancer research and things, we're way ahead of what we ever thought we'd be just from the infancy of AI. So,
right. So anyways, very interesting. That development happened around 3 p.m. yesterday, just for, transparency. Okay, so Obamacare subsidies set to expire January 1st. And then we have an update on Kilmar Abrego Garcia cannot be deported or detained after ICE check-in. That just came out 2 hours ago. And then regarding the fired Michigan head coach, 911 call released revealing assault and stalking claims. Very interesting. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on, though. Like I said, let's go ahead and also, you guys got to embrace your fuck ups.
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck ups when you have tomorrow's fuck ups to look forward to? You are a fuck up, and fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.
Embrace the process. Okay, let's get into it.
Thanks for watching Live Now from Fox. I'm Shauna Kalafi. Earlier today, senators rejected dueling health care bills, which means that Obamacare subsidies used by more than 20 million Americans will likely lapse at the end of the year. Those two bills were voted on today, and both were far from reaching the 60 votes that were needed to move anything forward. We have Mia McCarthy joining us now, congressional reporter for Politico. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So like I said, more than 20 million Americans rely on this. So how big of an impact is this going to have for Americans?
Yeah, right now, senators and members of the House are working towards trying to find some kind of solution here. But right now, there's only 1 week left of session. Senators are gone for the weekend. House members are going to vote tomorrow and then head out for the weekend. And then last week is really the last.
Dude, healthcare, insurance, all of this. We are in desperate need to reform damn near all of that. We're definitely, these insurance companies at this point are taking advantage of the situation, price gouging, bringing up your premiums per month now. It's just insane that they can do that. At this point, it's just crazy.
Well, last make or break week before they leave for the holiday recess. So, both of these votes failed. They were expected to, but we're going to be watching if anything can actually come together that can pass the House, the Senate, and, get a signature from President Trump's desk.
And a lot of Americans are worried about their healthcare premiums and costs. What can we expect short and long term moving forward now that this vote has been rejected?
Yeah, well, the big question is like, what is going to happen from here? I think that's what everyone is wondering. Senators and House members, like I said, are still trying to come up with some sort of a solution, but they're just running out of time is the big issue here. These subsidies are set to expire at the end of the year, but there's not really a set plan. Republicans don't necessarily want to extend what they say are, they don't want to extend something they associate with something that's part of Obamacare. Meanwhile, Democrats are saying, we've got to get this done. We got to extend this, but we don't want to make necessarily the changes that Republicans want to make that would be essential to have a bipartisan solution. So it's not really looking like there's going to be any kind of solution in the near future, but where people are hoping that something breaks through and that there can be some kind of way to avoid these really high premium spikes.
And as you mentioned, the bipartisan negotiations here. So both parties' bills actually failed to reach that 60-vote threshold. What does that say about the current state of bipartisan negotiations in our Senate?
Yeah, I mean, both.
I got you, Papa. I got you.
Stop the cap.
These bills were predicted to fail. The Democrat solution was a clean extension for 3 years of the Affordable Care Act subsidies. That was basically a non-starter, especially that it was an extension without any changes to the things that Republicans wanted there to be changes on. Meanwhile, the Republican solution didn't include any kind of extension of these subsidies. They instead included government-funded health savings accounts. Now, what could be a possibility of...
Brother So Loud, happy Friday. Great to see you in the chat, man. Great to see you.
Something in the future is maybe a combination of the two, but neither right now have the 60 votes to pass the Senate, and don't necessarily have an endorsement from President Trump as well.
And another interesting part of this is some senators actually crossing party lines supporting the other party's bill. We had senators like Collins who supported the Democratic plan while Rand Paul opposed his own party's bill. How significant is that some of these senators are leaning away from their own party's plans and supporting the other?
Yeah, I think, both senators on both sides knew that these plans were not necessarily going to pass, but they really intended to try to send a message that something needs to be done. Something bipartisan needs to be done here. We can't just be throwing around plans that are partisan, that they know only have buy-in from only Democrats or only Republicans. So I think that was really the message. That
I agree with that too. It shouldn't be all or nothing. I think we should be able to actually sit at the table together and be able to figure out together what is the best plan. Like there may be some things that I bring to the table that are the best options. And then, but there's another thing that someone else brings up that is a better option for this one part. And that's how we work. And if you can factually show me that, hey, yeah, that factually works better. Okay, well, there's so much pride. It'll never happen at this point. These fucking guys have so much fucking pride and division that it's hard to deal with.
These few Republicans were trying to send with
Fuck
this
landscape.
And so we're going to be watching if those people in particular are starting conversations now that both of these votes have failed.
And what are the possibilities for maybe a last-minute deal before Senate adjourns, and which policy disputes like abortion restrictions are the biggest obstacles in reaching an agreement here?
Yeah, the Hyde Amendment, the abortion aspect of it is definitely going to be something that is one of the trickier items as that goes into any potential deal if there is one.
No, and I know that it's not going to be a kumbaya ever, and that would be unrealistic. But I think that we should be able to at least sit at the table and negotiate something where it's bipartisan. It can't be one party or nothing. I mean, is that really what we want? Truly? I mean, we're going to have such dramatical shifts when we have change of power. And I mean, this is nice and all, but after this 4 years, it could be a Democrat that wins. We don't know. And so when that shit fucking happens, then they're in control, right? And now you're wishing that and fighting for everything that, it's like, think smart in this shit, but these people are just so ruthless.
The two House discharge petitions that are happening right now to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies, Congressman Fitzpatrick's, his doesn't touch Hyde at all. And he said that...
All right, this is enough of this fucking broad. We're done. We're going to move on. That's what we're going to do. Judge rules Kilmar Abrego Garcia cannot be deported or detained after ICE check-in. This is just as of a couple of hours ago. So let me go ahead and bring this up. We will talk about it here. And let me go ahead and bring this. Perfect. All right. Give me 1 second here because we got to get the money part.
All right, just get the money part done. Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
Perfect.
Denied.
All right, here we go.
Here, I do want to pop this up on your screen at this hour. The Associated Press saying federal judge issues temporary restraining order to prohibit immigration officials from detaining Kilmar Abrego Garcia. All of this here just coming into our newsroom as the ruling just came out from that judge moments ago. Abrego Garcia did appear this morning for that scheduled appointment at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Field Office, and it was about 14 hours after he was released from detention on a judge's orders. His lawyers asking the judge to block authorities from detaining him again. Officials now cannot re-detain him until the court conducts a hearing on the motion for the temporary restraining order. That is according to a judge. Now, I do want to pop this up on your screen right here. This is actually video coming in from Fox News overnight as Kilmar Abrego Garcia, following his release, actually arrived over at what appears to be his brother's home. That's where he is believed to have stayed throughout last night. As you can see, he's walked in by several people, his attorney right there behind him. Doesn't appear that the attorney made any sort of comments, Kilmar not speaking as well. However, earlier on this morning, we know that is what happened.
Imagine you going home and you've got a fucking crowd this big recording your shit. They're going to be outside. They know exactly where you live. Oh, man. That is brutal.
From Kilmar Abrego Garcia, translated into English. And what we heard was his attorney speaking here a short time ago. He was speaking in Spanish, but I do want to pop up the audio once again to see if he's returned back to English.
Aquí en este país de Estados Unidos. Pero Kilmar Abrego Garcia tiene muchas opciones legales, tal como el gobierno tiene muchos poderes, Kilmar Abrego Garcia tiene muchas opciones. Y lo más
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
importante es que tiene toda una comunidad, tiene todo un país luchando detrás de él, luchando por él, para apoyarlo en su...
He will likely take some questions here that are in English. If that does happen, we're going to make sure to bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox. But for now, I do want to take you right back over to that video I was showing you of Kilmar Abrego Garcia arriving there at his brother's home following his release. And now 14 hours later, he is inside of that ICE facility in Baltimore. You may remember that Abrego Garcia was taken into custody. This was back in August during a check-in just like this one that he was transported over to El Salvador. And we do know he was released around 5 last night in response to that ruling from U.S. District Judge there over in Maryland, who wrote that federal authorities had detained him after his return to the U.S. without any legal basis. Now, we know that he did immigrate to the U.S. illegally as a teen to join his brother, who had become a U.S. citizen. That is according to immigration officials. And in 2019, an immigration judge granted him protection from being deported back to his home country of El Salvador, where he does face danger from a gang that targeted his family. Again, that is according to the ruling.
Oh, my goodness.
That was released there by the judge. We're waiting to see if we do get some more comments in English from Abrego Garcia's attorney, who is outside of that ICE facility.
Yeah, can you imagine what other organization that he's scared of?
Waiting for Abrego Garcia to be released once again.
Because I do.
Muchas gracias por todo tu trabajo. So, are there any? We'll take questions. Simon, I'm going to go inside. You still go? Okay. So, Simon will be returning. He still has to go inside. But are there any questions? What we just heard from Simon that we can answer directly? All right. We'll wait for him. All right. We expect him to come out shortly. The good news, as you all heard, confirmed from his legal representative, is that Kilmar will be exiting those doors, and Kilmar will be free.
Okay, now he's speaking. Now we've got English that has magically appeared in this, gathering here.
So much. We did this because of you. We did this because we continue to fight. So
what's up, Carrie? Good morning to you.
People united.
Happy Friday.
Will never be divided. The people united will never be divided. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Brother Provo coming in hot with the $4.99, by the way. I very much appreciate you. Another phenomenal live streamer, by the way. Guys, go over to Provo Fresh and go subscribe to him as well. He's great dude, amazing takes, also hilarious, by the way. Appreciate that, bud.
All right, so essentially at this point, we are awaiting the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from that ICE field office. He arrived a little more than an hour ago.
What's up, Tats? Good morning to you. Great to see you as well. Actually, good afternoon to you over there in the UK. Great to see you.
There's been a rally taking place.
Happy Friday.
Ever since his arrival. He did arrive and make some brief comments in Spanish. Those were translated to English by somebody nearby, so we brought those comments to you a bit earlier on this morning in full. Now, we do know from this judge's issued order that Abrego Garcia cannot be detained once again or deported until there is a hearing that's held. So there were questions this morning about whether or not he would be held into custody, because it was an ICE check-in just like this back in August that led to his first detainment. It does appear after the judge's order there that there cannot be any sort of detainment. So he should be released here from this facility.
All right, and then I believe we saw that footage, didn't we? No, I guess not, because that was the latest update. Anyways, okay, we're moving on. 2 hours ago, fired Michigan head coach, 911 call released revealing assault and stalking claims. Very, very interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this up, and we will finish this off. This is our last update for the morning. We'll close this off, and we'll find someone to raid, so make sure you guys stick around for that. This is a very quick update. It's only like 3 minutes long, so let's go and get to it.
My name is Josh Breslow, and I'll be here with you to guide you through all of your top stories and live events on this Friday, December 12th. Right now, I do want to get you right back into your headlines and a story that we have been following over the last couple days here, as later today, the fired Michigan football head coach arrested after he was let go, expected to go before a judge. In the meantime, we continue to learn new information about what happened leading up to that very high-profile arrest. I do want to check in live with Robin Murdoch over at our Fox 2 Detroit team. She has been following this and has all of the latest. And of course, Robin, I know you've been working around the clock here to get more information, and you definitely have that.
Yeah, we do. And we are awaiting an arraignment that is expected to happen at some point today, Josh. We're standing outside the courthouse where Sharon Moore is expected to face a judge. We aren't exactly sure exactly what time it is going to happen today, and we really aren't sure about the charges just yet, but we have been told that he is expected to finally be arraigned at some point today. As you know, Sharon Moore, he has been at the Washtenaw County Jail, and this is about 30 miles from Detroit. He's been inside the jail since Wednesday awaiting that arraignment connected to an incident at a Pittsfield Township home. Now, we were able to obtain the 911 call about an alleged assault in which that caller described being attacked as well as stalked. Now, that happened shortly after.
Be good out there, Charles.
The university announced Moore had been fired for having an inappropriate relationship.
Hey, look who joined me just now. Look who joined. What's up? Look at this little one. What you doing? Chilling? That's cool. All right, back to this. Sorry, just had to show off.
With a staff member. Now, this, of course, is the latest blow to the football program.
Real quick, we got Mr. JR Bowling in the chat, by the way. Nice. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're having a great Friday morning so far. The man, the myth, the legend. The man that's running on for Alabama State Senate for District 4. Let's go, man. So I very much appreciate you.
University of Michigan in just 2 years. You might remember the university was fined some $20 million in a sign stealing scandal that resulted in Moore's brief suspension. And the head coach at that time, Jim Harbaugh, he was banned from college football for 10 years because of that. Now, I want you to take a listen now, though, to a part of that 911 dispatch call that we were able to get a hold of. Take a listen to this.
Subject just called the caller, told her there's a male at the location and the house attacking her. The state's been stalking her for months.
What the fuck is that? I can't understand a fucking word. And it's on normal playback speed, so it's not like, oh, it's sped up, so you can't really understand from this. No, you just can't understand the motherfucker.
Girlfriend, she's domestic. We just got a call from S1's wife in Ann Arbor saying that the subject is suicidal.
Huh?
Quitting his job today.
Homie, do you have an iPhone or something like that? I mean, why don't you get on? Why are you talking like through a Nokia, original Nokia from back in the day or something? No one understood a word you just said there.
Now we are expected to learn more details about the alleged assault when Moore is arraigned. And again, we're just waiting on a time for that to happen. From what we understand at the court, they are still waiting for the paperwork. So we're kind of on standby for that court appearance today. But of course, we'll be watching the situation.
Oh, geez. All right. Listen, that is the end of the show for the morning. Guys, stick around. We're going to be sending you guys off to a raid over to our buddy JS Urban Adventures. He right now is actually doing some sort of debate prep. I'm not actually sure what he's debating or what he's doing, or I just saw it live. So go over there and let him know we're coming through with the Mike Ball raid. Listen, until tomorrow morning for more of the World's Madness, of course, that you guys know, it's actually not us going into the World's Madness. Tomorrow morning is members only for you guys, and we don't discuss any of this, the stuff that we talk Monday through Friday. We do that fucking Monday through Friday. We like to be able to have a good time, uncensored, try to have a good time where we laugh and sometimes we're like, oh shit, whatever the case is. So listen, we have a good time. Also, I just want to let you guys know how much I appreciate you. I can't do this shit by myself, obviously. If I didn't have you guys here, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I sincerely mean that from the bottom of my heart. So listen, much love, honor, respect, everybody. God bless everyone. We'll see you guys very soon. And if we don't see you guys from members only, we'll see you guys Monday morning for more of the World's Madness. Until then, God bless everyone. We'll see you guys very soon. And stay safe out there.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken, he rides onto his ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned.
Let's go, Tats.
Down the bunko.